All right, guys. So I just want to throw my hat into the ring, so to speak, on a topic that has been going around the internet regarding one of YouTube's biggest stars, Boogie2988. I say biggest stars. He's not huge, but he is a fairly successful YouTuber, and I'm assuming this guy has done well for himself financially. He has, you know, a ton of subscribers. He does um, mostly gaming videos, you know, and maybe some satire. He got really popular off of uh, his videos where he plays a complete loser with a lisp and the whole nine yards. Francis, okay, and an anger problem. It's mildly entertaining, and I like Boogie. He seems like a really nice guy. Okay, so here's Boogie, and the big topic around the internet lately has been his relationship with his, well, now ex-wife, Desiree, I believe her last name is Williams, or was uh, prior to her marriage with Boogie. Okay, so here's Desiree, a decent looking woman. I believe most of us would be more than happy to spend a night with her. Okay. And, you know, skepticism and cynics came out when, this young lady married Boogie. Uh, probably due to Boogie's health and, he's overweight, his appearance. And a lot of people thought that it would not work, that she had married him for the money. Okay, so you know, a lot of detractors, said, "Hey, stop. That cannot be the case. She loves Boogie." Some women simply look at a person's personality, and that's why they get with a person. So you're foolish talking all this nonsense about she's just after Boogie's money. She got with Boogie. She met Boogie before Boogie become a YouTube celebrity. So it's not about the money. She loves Boogie. Look how happy they look together here. She really is a decent looking woman. She's no 10. She's no 8. I would give her a solid 7, 6.5, 7. But it was definitely a mismatch with her and Boogie. So, you know, late last year, Boogie decided to get gastric bypass and lose weight and try to get healthy. Okay, so it was a dangerous surgery, and it can most definitely be taxing on a person. And Boogie already had came out with previous videos saying that he had some emotional issues from previous experiences in life. He claims that he has PTSD from some experiences when he was younger, and you can definitely check out Boogie's videos, his channel, to get more backstory on that. But Boogie went into surgery for gastric bypass late last year, and he has lost, I believe he said, over 150 pounds to date. He's getting healthier. He's starting to get to where he can walk. Apparently, when he and Desiree here, they tried to go to, outings and concerts and whatnot. Boogie had to go in a wheelchair or use a walker. That's how bad his health was. Okay, so he's improving. He's lost over 150 pounds. He can now walk on his own. He has no walker, no wheelchair. One of his latest videos, he's out walking his dog. So Boogie's getting better health-wise. But news broke out, rumor mill, that he and Desiree here were getting a divorce. Okay, so let's go from here, and I'm going to take you over to Boogie's response to that. Boogie's response to the news that he and Desiree are divorcing. So give me just a second here. I'm going to load up the video. We're going to go over to it. All right, so here we are over on Boogie's YouTube channel. And this is going to be his response video to all the rumors that were coming out a few months ago about his possible divorce. So before we even press play, look at the other recommended videos in accordance with the one that we're watching or we're about to watch. You know, this guy, this experience is obviously destroying him. He's heartbroken. You've got, and these are the two from Boogie, actually from Boogie, rambling. It's all over. I'm finally divorced. You know, the title states, you know, he's trying to save face here, and maybe he's happy that it's all over. But look at the look on his face. Does that look like a happy man? Okay. And then we see another one from Boogie. How I'm doing after the divorce. Is Boogie okay? Yeah, he's giving the A-OK symbol there. He's got a smile on his face again. That does not look like a genuine smile. This is obviously really doing some damage to Boogie mentally. All right. He loves the girl. And as you'll see in this video, possibly if we come across one of the shots where you can actually see, he's still wearing his ring. He's still wearing the wedding ring. But let's get into the video here.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. It's been a few weeks since I filmed a rambling video, and it's because there's something that I wanted to share with you that I couldn't share with you because it involved people other than me, and it was fairly sensitive, and I was being advised from everyone in my life that I needed to stay quiet about it.
Oh, let's
But
stop right
today,
there. Advised by everyone in his life that he needed to stay quiet about it. No, 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 no. I'm going to make an assumption here that he was being advised by Desiree, Miss Desiree Williams, that he needed to stay quiet about it. But you know, not to interrupt. Let's go.
I talked to the other people involved, and they all are in agreement that it's okay that I come forward and talk about this here on YouTube today. Um,
The other people involved, that's obviously Des. So maybe she had a change of heart. And you know, she's like, okay, yeah, if you approach this subject with baby gloves, and I approve what you put out there, okay, yeah, I might let you make a video off of this and capitalize, make some money off of the whole thing.
So bear with me. I have to say, I've kind of lied to you guys over the past few months because
Did you?
not by
Did you,
saying
Boogie?
anything that wasn't true, but simply by a lie of omission. There's something I wanted to share with you that I wasn't able to share with you. And that really sucks because I've always been a very transparent person, wanting to be transparent here on YouTube so that you guys can understand the trials and tribulations I go through, the stupid mistakes I've made, and how I recover from those mistakes and the other types of damage that happen to me. So I just want to start this off by apologizing by not doing this sooner or not being able to do it sooner. I'm really sorry. I never want to lie to you guys, and I certainly hope I never have to again, even if it's just a lie of omission. My marriage here on YouTube has been very public. I think every time I've made a rambling video, I've talked about my wife and the things that we are doing. I've talked about the travels we've made. Whenever I travel to meet you guys somewhere at a convention, my wife has always been with me. And I even proposed to her on YouTube. Our wedding video appeared here on YouTube. And, you know, it was pretty great being public with that because we shared all of the really good parts of our life. But just like anywhere else or anyone else on social media, I did not show the bad times. And our marriage.
Okay, so let's stop right there. All right, as Boogie is openly admitting, they put their relationship out there. They put the marriage on YouTube. They benefited. They profited off of their personal business, and they opened the floodgates to criticism from the general public. But Boogie doesn't seem to have a problem with throwing it out there that they're having issues. And he's even admitting that he's sorry for lying about it. Who has a problem with putting that out there? Desiree. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead.
which was far from perfect. Me and my wife had one major issue that was persistent throughout the entire marriage, and that was my anxiety disorder, my clinically diagnosed PTSD. But more importantly, not just the disorder itself, but the stupid things that I would say and the stupid things that I would do when I was in the middle of a fight or flight attack. It was something that was very, very difficult for my wife to handle. It was something very, very difficult for me to handle. And it pretty much was this constant wedge just right between us from the day we met to the day we separated. And don't get me wrong, the relationship I had with my wife was the best relationship of my life. It was some of the best 7 years ever, and we did some amazing things. We traveled the country. We met so many of you guys. We met some of our favorite creators and some of our favorite entertainers, and we loved each other madly. We were madly, madly in love. But beyond the anxiety disorder, she was still dealing with my morbid obesity. She was still dealing with my chronic pain issues, and that stuff is hard enough for me to deal with, but I have no choice. I'm stuck in this brain.
Good place to stop here. So he says his anxiety issues, his PTSD, uh, he has some issues with anger, maybe. Um, Understandable, you know. But he says that's been a wedge in the relationship since they very first met. He says that his weight problems has been an issue. His health problems have been an issue since they very first met. But yet, this young lady, decided to marry Boogie. She decided to marry him even though those have been issues for the two of them since the beginning. All right, so when you marry someone, it's supposed to be for better or worse. You support each other until the end. That is the foundation of marriage. And it's not even like this came up after they married. She knew about all of these issues, but yet she still married the guy. All right, so that it's frustrating. So now you see Boogie here, he's blaming himself in typical beta male fashion. What seems to be popular these days is cowering down and blaming yourself. And, there was no blame on the female, right? There was no blame on the female. She did nothing wrong. This was all me. So you're gonna bring yourself down, blame yourself for everything. No, Boogie, it's not you. You already had these issues. She married you even though she knew that you had them. And if I'm not right here, please correct me in the comments, but they may have met each other before Boogie's channel really took off, but Boogie's channel was already a thing when they met. And she most definitely married the guy after the channel had started to take off. So you tell me, she even quit her job after they married to, quote, help him around the house. So you tell me, what is this sounding like? All right, she divorced him early or late last year or early this year, pretty much right after his surgery, because of his issues, because of his health problems, and because of his PTSD. Well, Boogie was trying to improve himself. He had just went into surgery to lose a bunch of weight and get in better health. So he's trying to improve himself. He's not getting worse. He's trying to get better. You married this man for better or worse till death do you part. He's actually trying to get better and live a longer, healthier life, and then you divorce him. And poor Boogie goes out there and he blames himself.
I'm stuck in this body. She had a choice, and she made it, and I think she made the right decision. Back towards the middle of October, she told me that she was thinking about
Beating
separating
yourself up, Boogie.
now that I was out of the surgery and now that I was nice and healthy. We talked about it and decided that she should take a break in November, which she did. She was gone for about 3 weeks, and about 2 weeks into that, she called up and said that she had made her decision, that she wanted things to be a more permanent change, and that we should start moving in that direction. And obviously, that hurts because I wanted us to work. I wanted to make it work, but I couldn't argue with the fact that we just weren't working. and things weren't the way.
So immediately after him getting out of surgery, pretty much, she takes off, have some time alone, think about things. Immediately after her surgery, as he's starting to get better, she leaves while he's in the recovery period from the surgery, 2 weeks to think about things. Yeah, well, I'm sure she was thinking about things, Boogie. So let's go over from this, which is sad. I feel bad for you, Boogie, first and foremost. Like others have said on the internet, I feel bad for you. This was not your fault. You're trying to improve your life. So don't continue to blame yourself. You might have made a bad decision, and I've made them before in my life. I'm sure every male has made a bad relationship decision. I've been divorced, and I've been broken up with in long-term relationships. And sometimes I blame myself, but the thing is, you can't blame yourself. It takes two to tango, and you're trying to improve. She married you knowing you had all these issues. Maybe she thought that your health would continue to decline and your YouTube channel, royalties, all of your money that you've made, Boogie, if you were to go downhill, continue going downhill, that would be her inheritance. So you're trying to improve yourself and extend your life. She's not too happy with that. I mean, that's been the conspiracy theories thrown out there. Nobody knows if that's the truth but her. But don't continue to blame yourself, Boogie. That's not going to help your depression at all. You need to look at the cold hard facts that that was her that made that decision, and you have done nothing but attempt to become a better you. So all of this has come out, and you know, Boogie's made the videos, but I want to look at something that was posted over a year before all of this happened. And I'm going to take you over to it. It's a website, a blog that pretty much called all this out. It's created by a true alpha male that called her out for what she was and what the relationship for what it would be over a year before it ended. Okay, here we are, guys. And as you can see, the URL here, kngbct.wordpress.com. Just your basic WordPress blog. Knights victorious. And this was posted January the 18th, 2017, like I said. About a year before all of this happened. And the title is Why Boogie2988 Has Set Himself Up for Divorce and Possibly Suicide. Now, I hope that the creator is not correct on the possible suicide, because I would hate to see that happen to Boogie. I do enjoy watching his videos periodically. I like the guy. Like I said, he seems like a super nice dude. He is just a little bit naive. And I believe he's gotten taken for a ride. But again, most of us males out there have gotten taken for a ride. So if we go down here, this guy, he's been subscribed to Boogie for quite a while. Wouldn't call himself a diehard fan. But, same here. I've been subscribed to Boogie myself for quite a while. Boogie has nearly 400 million subscribers on YouTube. That was a year ago. I believe he's over 400 million, or 4 million. Not 400 million, but he's over 4 million. So we scroll down here. There's also a little fact that he weighs over 500 pounds, and he's married to a woman most Hollywood millionaires today would probably settle for, since she is, like I said, a 6.5 or a 7. But he's 500 plus pounds. He knows it. Somehow he can or won't lose the weight. Again, later he started to set himself up to lose the weight finally. And as we can see, the author here detailed how after they got married, this lady conveniently quit her job to help him around the house. Continue on here. What on earth does a woman like that seeing a 500-pound man-child like Boogie? Is she insane? In fairness, one also has to wonder why Boogie himself was not willing to settle for someone more in his own league, especially if all he really wanted was for a woman to love him. Does that make him shallow? Well, maybe, but I believe it's human nature to be shallow. And therefore, when you see a woman like her marry a guy that looks like him and has the money that he has, you start to think, and it's totally understandable. You start to think that maybe it was a money thing. Maybe fat women are too picky. Maybe Boogie just considers himself to be lucky to be alive every morning. And this goes on and on here. He's talking about how the divorce rate is extremely high and marriages are just likely to end after 3 months as they are 30 years, so on and so forth. But really the whole point of this is that Desiree was most likely marrying this guy for his money. And a year prior, the author of this blog called it, knew that this was going to happen, said it might even lead to Boogie's suicide, that it would send him into a spiral, downward spiral, depression, and we're starting to see that on his channel. His videos are getting weirder and weirder. He's talking about, he thinks maybe he might have even have died on the operating table and this is all just a dream. The guy has depression problems, more so than he did before all of this happened. What I want to point out right here is this picture, though, while we're on this blog. This was taken shortly after the two married. Desiree, the one on the right side here, of course, Desiree and this Mandingo that's in this picture with her. That was after they were married. Does that look like just a friendly little picture? Doesn't to me. Where is that picture being taken at? Some kind of home office or something? I don't know. But it's questionable. And the author had all the right in the world to be skeptical, especially with a picture like that floating around on the internet. But we go on and on and on, and basically, you can read it for yourself if you go to this website, but this is the bottom line here. A rational person cannot ignore reality, and statistics do not lie. The divorce rate is over 50%, and women initiate most divorces. That is the fact, and it turns out that Desiree initiated this one. All right, so too bad, Boogie. I'm so sorry, man. But the internet called this way before it happened. All of you social justice warriors that like to say that stuff like this does not happen and people get together because they love each other and women are not just after the money. Don't be chauvinistic. Well, here you go. Here's another example that life is really like that. People are really like that, and most women really are like that. Shallow. But I'm not going to say that men aren't shallow as well, because we are. We can be. But these feminists and these social justice warriors that like to defend women, when proven facts like that are thrown out, that a lot of women are just after the money, and if you see a couple that doesn't look right together, something stinks, where there's smoke, there's fire, well, here's your proof that it really does happen. So before I close out here, I just want to go over to bring this back up here. I just want to go over to one more video, and this was a breakdown of sorts from Boogie. He was obviously having a really bad day. He was doing a Twitch stream, I believe, and one of the viewers asked a question that really set him off, and this was his response to it.
These damn haters get to you. The problem is I can't help it. The problem is it just gets to me, man. It just gets to me after a while. It's exhausting. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. But you guys have made me rich. I'm going to have about half that in a little while.
There you go. There you go. About half of that. You guys have made me rich. Well, about half that in a little while. So Desiree here has obviously in the divorce proceedings, she has entitled herself to half of Boogie's earnings. Okay, and also heads up, thank you to another cuck, another beta, Big Daddy Slash for this footage here, for putting all this together that I'm screen capping here on Boogie's breakdown on live stream, on live stream rather. But there you go. Out of Boogie's own words, she has taken half. On that video that I showed you earlier, in this video, where Boogie announced the divorce, I didn't show that part, but later on he said that she has been very generous to him in the divorce proceedings. She didn't have to be that generous. Well, hell, doesn't seem like she's been that damn generous to you, Boogie. She's taken half of your shit, man. But again, and I'm beating a dead horse here, she wasn't after the money though, was she, guys? She really she loved Boogie. She didn't marry him for the money. I digress.
But that's still a lot. If I donate $100, will you tell us what happened today? You know, I'm not supposed to talk about it. You know what? I don't really care
losing his
right
shit.
now. I don't really care right now. My desire to do the right thing is at an all-time low. I think at this point
Depression
it's a pretty
is
good
setting in,
sign that it's going to be done. She's got a new dick up north. Well, I'm gonna portray my wife's.
She's got a new dick up north. Out of Boogie's own mouth. She's got a new dick up north. Now, you know, like some other commenters that I've seen around the internet, YouTube. No, Boogie, that is not a new dick up north. That is a dick that she has had for quite a while, through most of your marriage, most likely. Well, before the divorce, at least. Maybe even before you even met. But that is definitely not a new dick up north. She may have even have had dicks east, west, south, prior to, during, after the divorce. That's not a new dick up north. I can guarantee you that, Boogie. She was probably with that dick up north in the 2 weeks that you were separated. She may have even been with that dick up north while you were getting your gastric bypass surgery. Recovering.
Trust here. My wife, God love her, she's not a very sexual
God
person.
does not love her.
She has been very sexual with me, but I'm one of the only people she's ever trusted that way. Uh-oh, I got a text. I bet I'm in trouble.
Boogie. Most women are very sexual. So don't kid yourself. This lady is extremely sexual. She's being sexual right now. You said that she may not have been sexual with you, but she's definitely sexual. All right, so let's not even think about that, man. Do not be naive, Boogie. You're harming yourself, and I just don't want to see it anymore, man. Don't want to see it anymore. Throw the fucking wedding ring in the trash and never think of this again. While your ex-wife and her new dick up north are living lavishly off of half of your shit that you have feverishly posted videos on YouTube for, worked your ass off for, do not continue to give her any mind. Let's move on from this, chalk that up as a loss, and continue. But hey, what happens next here, later on in the stream, what happens next is just solid proof here that this lady, even though they are divorced, she's getting half of his shit, he is still letting her control him.
Sorry, period. I'm having a lot of trouble with this stuff. Well, now my wife heard what I was talking about. So she's furious. Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have said anything, but at the end of the day, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, you know? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm here all alone, and I'm fucking dying inside, and I'm in a lot of pain, and I don't have anybody to talk.
All right, so yeah, there's a fellow cuck Big Daddy Slash there. So I'm just gonna comment on this and wrap this video up. Uh, he's still letting this lady control her, even though divorce proceedings have pretty much been finalized, and she's taking her half of his money. He's admitted there that he's very lonely. He's going through a lot of stuff emotionally, and not only, physically as well, because he is still adjusting to this gastric bypass surgery. And she's giving him shit and also causing him extreme mental issues with this whole divorce. But he's really letting himself get worked up here and let himself be controlled. Boogie, man, look, you do your thing. I know the whole marriage has been monetized through YouTube. From the beginning of the relationship to the marriage, and now he is heavily monetizing this divorce. He's throwing himself out there to the public, and therefore videos like this one that you are watching right now with me are being made. And I know Boogie, part of him does not like the fact that he's having to throw his personal business out there to everyone. But now, since she has taken a lot of his money, half of his fucking money, he's having to monetize the divorce. He made a whole stream, not just this stream. He's made a whole stream, maybe even numerous streams. I haven't looked that deep into it, just about the damn divorce. Just sitting there, one that I skimmed through for an hour and a half. Did a Twitch stream just talking about his divorce. That is sad that he has let himself get to this point. But he is obviously extremely desperate for money, with having to pay lawyers most likely, having to part with half of his money. Boogie is in a rough spot right now, physically, mentally, financially, all because of this woman. Mostly because of this woman. And it's depressing. Even as someone on the outside looking in, it's depressing me right now. And I wish you all the best, Boogie. You're going to get over this. The foreboding prediction from the blogger from earlier, he may have been right on the divorce, but I sure as hell hope he isn't right on the suicide. But Boogie's not looking too good right now. He's not on the right track, and I just hope him the best. I hope that he gets better. I don't want to ramble on any longer about this, but I just wanted to throw my 2 cents out there. This is a solid example of why men out there in today's society should look at going the MGTOW route. Men going their own way. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. But women like this is why men are going their own way. It just makes sense. Like I said, physically, mentally, financially, with the women that are out there in society today. With that, I'm going to leave you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about not only my video but also Boogie's whole situation there. Until next time, guys, take it easy.